What if health is not just about food, supplements, and exercise, but it's about light? Is it even possible for the most powerful influence of your biology to not be medicine or food you ingest, but something you are constantly exposed to? What if that depression, that sickness, really is that damn phone's fault? In the field of quantum biology, it looks at light, mitochondria, melanin, and the sun and how it shapes your energy, hormones, and nervous system at the most fundamental level. Talking about that key resource most modern people are missing out on today due to the culture of modern society, as the sun has been demonized rather than given its true nature as the source of all life and vitality. Quantum biology explores how subatomic and quantum scale processes influence living systems. Instead of seeing the body as purely biochemical, it recognizes that life depends on electrons, photons, vibration, and coherence. Processes like electron transfer, light absorption, redox balancing, and cellular signaling all happen at scales smaller than molecules, yet determine how cells function as a whole. As it is biology that runs on light and electricity, not just chemistry. This can easily be understood through the sun itself, the source of all life on Earth. Without the sun, no biological system on the planet could exist as we know it. It is the original input of energy that makes movement, metabolism, and organization possible. Life, at its most fundamental level, is the ability to capture energy from the environment and maintain order. And light is the starting point of that process. As the sun is not just the source of vitamin D, it is a full spectrum signal that programs the body. The morning sunlight sets circadian rhythm, improves mitochondrial timing, regulates cortisol and melanin, gives red and infrared light. The midday sunlight increases nitric oxide, supports immune signaling, stimulates melanin production, gives a wide spectrum of light. And the sunset light signals the nervous system to slow down, prepares the body for rest and repair, and gives that red and infrared light. The body evolved to expect these signals. When they are missing or replaced by artificial light, confusion sets in at the cellular level. As our eyes and skins are sensors for these lights to help regulate the systems throughout our body, all depending on the light it receives. With the eyes having a direct connection to the brain and endocrine glands, such as the pituitary gland and the pineal gland. And so the light one receives through the eyes plays an influential role in hormonal regulation of the body. And yet most of the culture is so disconnected from circadian rhythm that the body is out of regulation. With these non-natural blue lights appearing throughout all the night, whether it be the phones, street lights, or buildings, it is keeping the body awake and in a fight or flight mode, when it should be in a rest and digest mode at night. As sleep is the most important part of one to recover and heal, yet many have confused the body simply with these artificial lights. This confusion usually spirals into more dysfunction and bad habits, such as abusing stimulants and drugs, and claiming to have illnesses or deficiencies, but it is just the body responding to the non-natural environment you placed it in. And it's not just the eyes that are the key receptors for this energy and communication, but also through the skin, as melanin is often misunderstood. It's not just a pigmentation, it is the biological interface with light. Melanin absorbs, disperses, and transforms light energy, playing a crucial role in photoprotection, energy transfer, and neural and hormonal signaling, acting more like a biological semiconductor, helping convert light into usable biological energy. As the skin is not a passive covering, but an active sensory and energetic organ. And yet, in the modern culture, it is often taught to fear the sun, covering the body and the skin away from that sun, hiding indoors, or putting on a toxic petroleum-based substance over the skin called sunscreen. The problem is not the sunlight, All animals, including our ancestors, have been exposed to the sun for a long time. But in this modern world, we try these sudden, excessive exposure when the body is used to artificial environments and metabolic dysfunction. But the appropriate sun exposure allows the body to build resilience, regulate melanin, and improve mitochondrial efficiency. As health is truly a conversation about the relationship to light. This is so clear when we look at the mitochondria, the real center of health in this conversation. As the mitochondria are environmental sensors, constantly responding to light, temperature, oxygen, and electromagnetic signals. Their job is not just to produce energy, but to decide how efficiently energy is produced based on the environment you are in. When mitochondria are coherent and well signaled, the body feels energized, resilient, and clear. When they are stressed or confused, inflammation, fatigue, and dysregulation appears. As it is the mitochondria that plays the key role in energy production in the body. These cellular solar panels are responsible for the production of synthesis and regulating energy throughout the body, such as its responsibility for producing ATP, the primary energy current of every living cell, converting electrons from food, oxygen, and light into usable cellular energy. This is not a mechanical process, but it is an electrochemical process, depending on electron flow, electrical gradient, and redox balance across the mitochondrial membrane. The efficiency of this process determines how much energy a cell can generate, how resilient it is to stress, and how well it can repair and regulate itself. So when the mitochondria ATP production is efficient, the cells communicate clearly, tissue regenerates properly, and the organism maintains coherence. When this process becomes inefficient, energy drops, inflammation rises, and dysfunction begins at the most fundamental level. Health then is not simply about calories or fuel. It's about how efficiently the body converts energy into ATP, moment by moment, cell by cell. The role of light cannot be ignored, as it is biological information, with different wavelengths of light carrying different informations for the body, and the mitochondria are very sensitive to those signals. Blue light is a short wavelength, high energy form of light, naturally present in sunlight, especially in the morning hours, helping in setting the circadian rhythm, signal wakefulness and alertness, suppress melatonin at the correct time, and activate cortisol in a healthy, rhythmic way. In nature, blue light always comes with a full spectrum: red, infrared, ultraviolet, all arriving together. And so the issue arises when blue light is experienced in isolation at unnatural times and at unnatural intensities. The modern world has done a large adoption of artificial blue lights at unnatural times and at unnatural intensities. These artificial lights and screens deliver concentrated blue light without the balancing wavelengths found in the sunlight. When this happens, especially at night, circadian signaling becomes confused, melatonin production is suppressed, and mitochondrial efficiency begins to drop. The problem is not blue light itself, it is the blue light without context. Red and infrared light are longer wavelengths, lower energy forms of light, but they penetrate deeper into tissues. These wavelengths interact directly with mitochondria, particularly with enzymes involving in ATP production. Red and infrared light help improve electron flow, reduce oxidative stress, supports mitochondrial efficiency, promotes tissue repair and nervous system calmness. And these waves dominate during sunrise, sunset, and firelight. In this sense, red light acts as a signal of safety and repair, telling the body that it is time to restore, regenerate, and conserve energy. This is not a conversation about eliminating blue light or chasing red light as a cure-all. It is a conversation about timing, balancing, and environmental coherence. as the further we separate ourselves from nature and the natural way our bodies are designed to live and communicate, the more imbalances, diseases, and issues we cause. Furthermore, ultraviolet light is super important for cellular communication, as it is communication that is the main factor for health. If everything is communicating, there is no separation, there is no imbalances. And it is the sun that offers this ultraviolet light. One of the biggest challenges in modern health is not the lack of data, it is the misunderstanding of context. Much of the modern health advice was developed in environments that are fundamentally unnatural to the human biology. Many studies are conducted indoors, isolating factors, under artificial blue light, disconnected from the natural cycles, seasons, and sunlight. And then we are surprised when the conclusion does not translate well to real life. When, in the natural world, all things are unified, constantly communicating to an infinite degree. And so it is not the body getting sick, but its response to the isolated environment it was placed in. The body is working perfectly. And so a modern world who is isolated from nature is isolated from their own inner nature, creating a feedback loop of suffering. Not receiving information and nutrients from the sun, living in isolated non-natural environments, with artificial blue lights blasting the eyes way after the sun sets. Modern medicine conducted in unnatural ways, and even the food systems becoming unnatural. It is a recipe for imbalance, illness, isolation, and depression. Stepping away from the natural foods and replacing it with pills, where it is these natural foods that have the information for the body to become balanced, as they are not just calories, but carries codes and light for the body to respond to, such as the glucose in fruit being just crystallized solar energy. We have gone so far as to be afraid of the sun, as it would cause cancer, even though it is the best medicine. Yet across all ancient traditions, the sun was revered, not as an object of superstition, but as the source of life itself. It was respected for its role in growth, rhythm, healing, and vitality. And through these traditions, we find a shared understanding that the body is animated by light-based energy, known by different names such as chi, prana, or vital force. This energy was not seen as symbolic or abstract, but a fundamental aspect of human physiology, governing health, movement, consciousness, and resilience. In this way, ancient cultures were not worshiping the sun blindly. They were recognizing the biological truth. Life depends on light. What is often misunderstood about these systems like Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine is that they were never trying to describe anatomy the way modern medicine does, as they were describing the interconnected system, their functions, flow, and relationship, how energy, information, and matter moves through the body. And this is precisely where they intersect with what we now call quantum biology, as a lot of the conclusions modern science have come to have been talked about for thousands of years through these ancient sciences, viewing the body as a dynamic field of interaction, constantly shaped by light, rhythm, environment, emotion, and time. In quantum biology, we are discovering that life is governed not by the molecules, but by the electron flow, coherence, signaling fields, and timing. As with the chi system, the light body, and the energetic systems now having Western modern names, such as bioelectricity. And so while modern science is giving us some external precision, ancient systems gave us the tools to directly experience it for the past thousands of years. And so when bringing them together, we gain an even more wholeness approach, as these ancient systems were not primitive, but scientific fields that have been cultivated for thousands of years. It's important for the true health of the body to operate under the viewpoint that all is connected, as nothing in nature is isolated. And so that blue light blaring during your doom scroll at night, the petroleum sunscreen poisoning through the skin, and the pills discovered through isolated processes all stem from the separation mindset. One that does not work with the natural health of the body. That's it for today's video. Like, subscribe, leave any comments, questions, or topics. And if you want to go deeper, I'll have links in the descriptions. Check it out. Thanks for watching. Peace.